VR is in crisis. Major VR game studios are laying off employees, and some are even closing, as free-to-play games popular with mainly children are dominating the market. Major is having major layoffs and has lost a ton of money. And Meta CTO is saying that this is a make or break year as they continue to put their hope in Meta Horizons, which has struggled for years.
This year likely determines whether this entire effort will go down as the work of visionaries or a legendary misadventure.
VR is doomed. Or is it? Every name is taken, and it's been a while. During my break from making videos, a lot has happened, and people are understandably freaked out about the state of VR right now. There's been a huge change. A monumental shift is happening in the VR gaming world. VR gamers have been waiting for years for the level of releases that we've seen in about 2023 to 2024. Massive games with huge budgets have been released in the last year and a half. Asgard's Wrath 2, Assassin's Creed Nexus, Batman Arkham Shadow, Behemoth, Metro, Alien. All these games have given players what they wanted. A truly high-level VR experience, the kind that you really only get when a company decides to go all in this space. But all this excitement and hype has just led to a sinking feeling that everything is crumbling, as we see big studios are closing and laying off most of their workforce. Game companies are declaring that these kind of games just don't make enough money. Lower level free-to-play games, though, are now dominating the charts in the Horizon store. And every attempt to look for a good high-quality game in this marketplace just leads to you having to push through the slop of all of Horizon's worlds. And it just honestly gets frustrating. In these worlds, you have a lack of deep content. You don't have that in these experiences, but what you do have is a group of about a dozen screaming children every time you walk in to one of these Horizon worlds. Honestly, it's not fun. It's no wonder why many people feel like VR gaming is dying. For many, the writing seems to be on the wall. So if you're one of those who are just infuriated by what's going on with Meta, I'd love to take this opportunity to kind of try to talk you off the ledge, if you'll let me. Yes, this is bad. Yes, people who have a deep love for VR are losing their jobs and the ability to make a real impact in this space. Yes, you're being told that the games you love are simply too expensive and won't be made anymore. But in spite of all of this, I believe that this is the single best time for VR and mixed reality that I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever been more excited about where it's going. But to explain, we're gonna have to take a step back and look at not just the games, but the technology as a whole. VR/mixed reality. VR and mixed reality has to win. If we want the games to grow and exceed, we need the technology itself to grow and succeed. One of my favorite devices I've ever owned is the PlayStation Vita. I was thinking about this the other day as I kind of processed through what's going on. It was really, really way better than everything else in the industry. Better than the DS, anything anybody else was making. It was leagues ahead. It was so advanced. But for the Vita, due to the price tag, nobody was buying it. It didn't matter how good the games were, how good my Uncharted game was. It didn't matter if there wasn't mass adoption. The Vita didn't sell well, so games for it didn't sell well. So studios stopped making Vita games. VR's been in a similar place for different reasons, but the difference is Meta and other companies have really believed in it and invested in it, as opposed to where PlayStation let the Vita die. No matter what you believe about Meta, I respect how they have forced VR and mixed reality to become a big deal. And they've done a great job at mass awareness and growing it, especially here lately. The Meta Quest 3 and 3S, they were like, the Quest was the top selling game console of Christmas this year. And this isn't like an abnormal thing. If you look at the app stores, you see the Meta Worlds app at the top of the charts every holiday season. There's so many people that I know who are buying Quest 3s, and I've never seen this before. People are buying it and really like it. As someone who's been around since the early days of modern VR, it's crazy to see this growth. I've never seen this, but this growth comes with a shift. It's changing. VR is no longer for the VR enthusiasts. For years, it was for people who would spend thousands on a gaming PC and then thousands more on a headset, plus getting controllers and base stations and rigging everything up. People who were the real hardcore people, the ones who wanted the very best and were willing to put in hard work and money to get it. For years, this community has kept VR alive. For years, they have remained so strong. Watching YouTube videos about Pimax headsets or buying haptic vests to make it feel more immersive. Going and like modding the snot out of Skyrim to make it as good as humanly possible. Or live streaming all their custom Beat Saber songs. If you're one of these hardcore VR enthusiasts that have maintained the community as the technology has grown to where it is now, then you should know that VR would not exist now without you. I firmly believe that VR is undergoing a shift. The kind of shift that happens when what once was an enthusiast thing becomes a mainstream thing. VR is being picked up by the masses. So many of those who are getting headsets though would rather goof off with friends as a 6-pixel gorilla than play Blade and Sorcery and mod it to make it more realistic. VR gaming is changing and it's getting younger. I refuse to be one of the bitter old men of gaming. You know, those guys on YouTube that complain about everything. They rant about how there's no good games anymore while criticizing every single little detail in an experience that's just supposed to be fun. I can't stand how prevalent this is in the gaming industry, and it takes the enjoyment out of what's supposed to be games. That being said, I, the eternal optimist, hate where VR gaming is going right now. I can't stand it. The last thing I want is to enter some Horizon World and hear 20 kids screaming profanity. It's just not fun. Things need to be done to fix it for sure. But I understand. VR is the technology of the future. Mixed reality is the technology of the future. And for it to survive, the next generations need to buy into it. Where I used to spend my time as a kid playing Sly Cooper in front of a PlayStation at my grandparents' house, these kids get to live in worlds that are crafted just for them and goof off and being a kid with an experience with connectedness with kids from all over the world. And they can do that in these free VR games. When they get money from their parents, they can spend it on cosmetics in these worlds that they already live in. Their life isn't spent in front of a PlayStation 2. It's spent in a VR world. Yes, like the kids can be kind of annoying, but these are the kids that are going to grow up to become game designers, world artists, character designers, kids who are going to push the future of VR and mixed reality forward. Kids need a place to play right now though. And Horizon Worlds and these free-to-play games are a great place for that. And because these kids are falling in love with VR the way we fell in love with video games as kids, they're going to love this technology for the rest of their lives, just like we did. The difference between the PS Vita and VR is that there really wasn't a large player base that gravitated to the Vita. But due to a small player base, they eventually stopped production. We may not enjoy the kinds of games that the rapidly growing child player base does, but their presence here ensures that there's growth in mixed reality. Another area that Meta has been focusing on is non-gaming use cases for the Quest. I think of mixed reality almost like a tree with a bunch of different branches. And VR gaming is one in its shoot. It's been the whole trunk for years. But now there's all these other use cases that are coming out of this technology. Mixed reality workouts in particular have been super popular and a big seller of Quest headsets and have helped a lot of people get into shape. Also, multiple companies seem to be targeting people who want to use MR for work, for game streaming, for entertainment, anything else you would want to do with your computer. By Meta taking the Quest and targeting it towards everyone, it becomes a everything device. Much like a computer, you can socialize, play serious games, play non-serious games, get work done, browse the web, watch TV, and way more on a computer. And the same can be said about mixed reality devices. VR used to be for just hardcore gamers, but as its capability has increased, so has its target demographic. More and more over the next few years, VR and mixed reality will be for everyone. The hard part to come to accept is that those of us who are the hardcore VR game enthusiasts, we're not the main demographic anymore. We're not the ones being marketed to. We're not the people that the new features are coming out for. We're just one of many types of people VR is for, many branches on the tree. And that kind of sucks, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be eating. Where MetaQuest products are becoming do-everything devices, other headsets are being worked on right now just for you, with a hardcore gamer in mind. Asus has already announced a partnership with Meta for a brand new gaming headset that will be one of the first third-party headsets that will come with Horizon OS, but hopefully much more power to run VR games and much better VR games than the Quest can run. Valve is currently working on the successor to the Valve Index, which was crazy when it came out, and many of us can't wait to see its successor. As of when I was researching for this video, it was announced that it may be $1,200 and come with multiple first-party games. Though that's really expensive. It definitely means that Valve is targeting the enthusiasts, not just every regular day people. And I don't expect them to hold back with this new headset because of it. Not to mention the partnership between Xbox and Meta that allows for 2D game streaming at the moment. But I really hope and pray that one day we'll see it graduate to VR game streaming. So those of us who don't have a gaming PC can play PC VR games on our Quests. As gamers, there's so much to look forward to on the Quest and in VR in the months and years to come. Though the market is certainly changing, it's a normal part of technology changing and being adopted by the masses. This is what we wanted, success for VR, and it's happening. A rising tide floats all boats, and the VR tide is rising. Just as there are good games on your phone, there's also a bunch of games that you're not going to be interested in at all. And I expect it to be very, very similar for the Quest as it moves forward. As we see that the branch that used to just about be the trunk of VR gaming becomes just one part of this growing technology. And there are so many other branches that are starting to form in VR and mixed reality that I cannot wait to cover on this channel. VR and mixed reality, back to the tide thing, it may be a rising tide right now, but where VR gaming is an experience that's great and like amazing for the upcoming generations, they're just getting so invested and involved in it. There's another technology that right now is starting to strike with adults, and I think it's going to be the most pivotal and culture changing technology that we've seen since the iPhone came out. And I could not believe that more strong. But that branch on the MR tree, that's a story for next time. Just one more quick word for you, just a little more face to face. First, I do want to ask that, like, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and like, and then tell me in the comment section, like, where do you see things going? And what's something that you're really excited about coming in the future, a use case for the mixed reality technology that we have, or the kind of games that you expect to be coming out. Whatever it is, whatever you're excited about, leave it in the comments. But aside from that, I did want to say, like, I do appreciate if you are a subscriber of mine or you've watched my videos and you're here watching them again. Thank you for sticking around. Gosh, it's been a long few months that I've been basically off. I haven't been making YouTube videos. It's not my full-time job. My full-time job's been kind of crazy here lately. Some life things have changed, and I just wanted to take a step back, make sure this is something I still wanted to do before I kept going forward. I feel like you deserve, if you're gonna click on a video and watch a video of mine, you deserve good content. So really kind of took a step back, making sure I was gonna be able to provide that for you. And we're really kind of pivoting a little bit, more focusing on quality over quantity. So the videos may not be coming as quickly, but I hope that you will enjoy them even more. And this is going to be a big focus kind of for this little series of mine, is going to be looking at the current state of mixed reality and VR in 2025. And we're going to break down all those branches on the tree. But felt like this was the most important one because VR gaming is where everything started. And so I'm so glad to have you along for the ride. Make sure to subscribe and stick around for more, because I do have some more awesome videos coming. It is such an exciting place to be in, seeing this technology growing and moving forward. And though there are some growing pains, that is for certain. It sucks in certain spaces right now, and that's for sure. I think this is going to be something that we look back at and be like, yeah, that time sucked, but where we're at now is better than we ever were. So anyways, thank you so much for being a part of the community, and you have a great rest of your day. God bless.